Insane creator scam.
The biggest creators in the world are at the center of a scam, and I don't know if I should talk about it.
Okay.
Some have been defrauded, others are associated, and most are plain embarrassed. But I don't want to get sued. I mean, what do you think I should do?
Here, have a drink. And maybe start at the beginning?
Thanks.
Let's see a picture. No, I this is about Revolt, right? Yeah, I think we were like going to work with them or something, but it ended up not happening. So yeah.
2 months ago.
There it is.
Hello, this is CoffeeZilla.
I know who you are, and I've got something for you.
Tell me more.
Oh my god.
Alright, well this is for sure a lie. There's no way you look that cool.
Okay, maybe I exaggerated the setting a bit.
Yeah.
But I did get a call.
Voice has been replaced for anonymity.
Hello?
CoffeeZilla, I've got a scam for you. It's called Revolt.
Oh shit.
Huge influencers, lies, people haven't been paid.
What the fuck?
How much are we talking?
Not sure. Rumors 5 mil, and some of the merchandise still hasn't shipped.
Wow.
You interested?
Yeah, can I source you?
Holy shit.
Keep me anonymous on this one.
Now this sounds
That
more
was
like
Mr. Beast.
the coffee I know.
Yeah, you're missing the point. After getting this call and finishing my very important business, I started digging around. But the same word kept cropping up. So you have heard of Revolt. Can I put this on the record?
No, keep it anonymous.
Okay.
All right, this is great info, but how do you feel about going public?
Sorry, keep my name out of it.
Ooh.
Keep me anonymous, please.
Yeah, I
Whoa.
can keep you anonymous, sure. I was hitting a wall and I was getting frustrated. Little by little, though, a picture emerged. Not fully on the record, not fully off.
Right.
The voices of more than a dozen anonymous calls complaining about this
Jesus.
one merch company, Revolt,
the
run
fuck?
by a guy named Ryan Piacente.
Isn't he the guy who runs the Misfits?
Yeah, the YouTuber group.
Yeah.
Believe me, they'll be involved later. The point is, I was
shit.
hearing about this merch company, Revolt, and everyone said in 2019 through 2021, it was extremely successful, working
Yeah.
with everyone. And of course, in exchange for this
Yeah,
success,
like I've heard of Revolt. Like, of course.
Revolt was happy to take a cut of each of these merch
Sure.
drops. In fact, I obtained some of Revolt's sales numbers from 2021,
And how's
showing
that?
how much only 5 of their drops made. 20
God fucking damn, bro. I need to start selling merch.
million in revenue.
Holy shit.
Mind-blowing numbers. These
183,000? Oh my god, that's a lot.
These creators, who I've hidden for privacy, made $12 million. Revolt, for their cut, should have made $4 million.
Right, yeah.
Now that is a mystery. How do you screw up such a business making so much money?
That's what I wanted
Yeah,
to find
why
out.
would you mess that
Problem
up?
was, no one would go public.
Then you have nothing, right?
Yeah.
Rumors, innuendo, maybe. But if no one will talk,
No, that's the thing that kills me about this story. Most of the creators did talk. Employees talked. Everyone behind the scenes, they couldn't stop talking.
Yeah.
This is why I'm struggling with this story. If it was just off the record, I'd kill it. If everyone was on the record,
it's an easy story.
right. But it's neither. I'm in limbo.
Well, the reason why people don't want to go on the record and talk about this shit is because they're afraid of getting sued. That's really the reason. Is because like now, and like this is kind of like what's happened over the past like 4 or 5 years, is that like content creator stuff and everything has gotten way bigger, especially like with COVID. COVID like doubled everything. And so because of that, now you're talking about like, you know, tens of millions of dollars, like $5 million, $20 million with these scams. Like these are like really, really high level amounts of money. So like, I mean, it's not as high as, you know, Enron or Bernie Madoff maybe, but it's still really bad. It's enough to where like actual legal proceedings will get involved and it's a legit thing. And I think that because of that, because the industry has matured a lot, people just don't want to take risks on saying something that's out of line because they don't want to get sued.
Well, let's just get to what the accusations are then. Anonymously.
I was just getting to that.
Yeah.
As I was saying, Revolt made huge profits, massive merch drops, but there was another side of things. Ryan Piacente had a spending problem. He took 6 private jet trips in a month.
Okay.
Thousands of dollars every night on dinner.
Nobu West Hall. That's a lot of money. $10,000 on like one meal?
We have receipts for, by the way.
Bro, like, he needs to be invested in this fucking business, like this
Spent
restaurant.
$25,000 a week to rent a mansion in LA.
Oh my god.
And they rented a Ferrari for $20,000 for a week.
Jesus.
But the thing was, it wasn't really Ryan footing the bill.
Right.
It was actually
Revolt.
right. Even as this company's
I see. Yeah. Piercing the
raking
corporate
in money,
veil.
hand over fist, they were spending more than they could afford, which was brought up to Ryan as a
Yeah.
problem.
So why aren't you a millionaire?
He spends money like a
way.
Did you always spend money like an idiot?
Yeah, I've always spent money like a. I mean, the thing with money is I like to be able to provide that experience to everybody. So a lot of the money that I spend is actually on other people for the most part because I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's have fun.
Yikes.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad... I mean, yeah, I know plenty of people that are like that. Yeah, sure. I mean, that doesn't make... I don't think that makes him a bad dude. Just wait,
So
of
they
course.
just spent it all? Is that it? Is that the scam?
No. You're getting ahead of me. Look, mind topping me off?
Not if it's not your money? Well, I don't know, right? So, like, for example, if you're... And this is the thing. So basically, something that's the corporate veil, piercing the corporate veil, is a term that's used whenever a person is using corporate finances for their own personal deeds and their own personal endeavors and like personal business generally, right? Like paying bills, paying for food, etc. And this is used as a way to hold individuals accountable for what their company does because they have the company there as a shield from holding them accountable. So that's what it is, right? But with this, I'm not so sure about. Because, like, if he's spending all of this money and he's doing this in order to provide a good experience for, let's say, Valkyrie or Mr. Beast or one of the people in the front, like Carl Jacobs, then I think that's a business expense. Because these are people that he's working with and he's showing them a good time by spending a ton of money and making them feel good. So, yeah, I'm not convinced that this is bad yet.
Sure.
Not yet.
It'll get you to
Not
spill
yet.
the beans. So what else?
Well, the spinning part was just the start of it. At this point, Ryan's plan was described to me by a source who knew him as Creator A does a drop. Ryan would then spend a large chunk of that on private jets, Nobu, Balenciaga.
Sure.
And then Creator B does a drop, but Creator A still owed money. And so Ryan pays Creator A with Creator B's money. Little Ponzi-ish, if you ask me. But the key here is that this works as long as each merch drop is bigger than the last.
Yeah.
You keep paying for everything. But Revolt was starting to have issues. According to former employees, Revolt had terrible logistics experience, which is okay when you sell 400 units, but when you sell 40,000 in one day, that's a problem.
Yeah, how are you going to
Not
do
only
that?
that, Revolt is starting to pull in bigger and bigger talent, and these influencers are demanding bigger and bigger minimum guarantees.
Yeah, of
Ryan
course.
agrees, but things aren't like before. Some of those merch drops on
Yeah, I mean, actually, I don't know if I can say that. Never mind.
underperform.
But yeah,
Now-
I do know a bit about this.
Revolt owes money not just to minimum guarantees, but they also were counting on these
Yeah.
new merch drops to pay their older clients. So they start delaying payments.
Here we go.
That's right. For the first time, creators, they start actually posting about their experiences.
Oh.
Not off the record, publicly.
Honestly, it's actually a really nice t-shirt, like in like a chill way.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're not going to talk about the company I made it with because they stole everything from me.
So,
Man, bro, he's just out with it, huh? Yeah, goddamn. It's like, yeah, but we're not going to talk about that because they stole all the money. Oh my god, these companies are probably using sweatshop labor and allegedly still scamming. This is why people should use unionized companies to make merch like a few other streamers do. Why would somebody use a unionized company where they're going to make way less money? Why would somebody do that? What are you talking about? No, that's a bad idea. You're going to make way less money. So, yeah, obviously that's not going to happen. Anyway, does they have morals? Okay, so that, again, that's not going to happen. And so, again, yeah, I would say, I think that also the problem is that a lot of the people that they worked with, like, there were a lot of content creators that, like, in 2021 were like 5 times the size that they are now. And like what ended up happening is that like there was a large boom from like, again, COVID, and then people blew up playing like Among Us, and like now those people don't have the same degree of relevance as they did back then because, you know, there's less people online naturally, and also there isn't like a game that they're just like getting promoted by, right? There's not like that same type of culture. So yeah.
Okay, like I get they're a bad company. Can you put me on their send list, please? Just like for everyone.
Yeah.
I'll take all their merch.
Dude, I'm not sure anyone will ever make merch with them again after recently.
It was finally happening. Big creators had started to talk about Revolt. Carl Jacobs said they're the worst people ever that just blatantly lie. Smosh founder Anthony Padilla says Revolt still hasn't paid me. It's been months. Now, I should say, it says...
And won't respond to my team's emails. Jesus Christ.
Revolt still hasn't paid me. It's been months.
Oh my God.
Now, I should say, for the record, that he eventually got his issue resolved. But underneath his post,
good for him.
Another creator posted, Niachu, saying they...
Hold up, wait a minute.
They haven't paid me either. Now, I called her, and for the first time in this case, I got a breakthrough.
I am Nikki Niachu. I'm a Twitch streamer, and Revolt owes me $300,000.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
That's so hard.
That's a lot of money.
I know.
Unbelievable.
And it wasn't just her not getting paid. She explained that also people who ordered from her, some of them didn't even get their order.
See, guys, this is a scam. When you buy something and then you don't get what you buy. This is a scam. So like before, like overpriced stuff, that's not a scam. This is a scam because I paid $30 for a t-shirt. Where's my fucking t-shirt?
Everything was shipped. First of all, a lot of people in Europe didn't get their merch. And I messaged them about it and they said, yeah, we'll look into it. Never did. A lot of my friends who bought merch never received it.
To this date.
Yes.
These orders, which were in 2022,
yes,
have not been sent out or received.
Yes.
Now, as bad as that sounds,
Jesus, that's really bad. Oh my God.
As I looked closer, I realized this was common, really common. Delays, missing orders. Sometimes
every time I read the email, it gets me more angry. Fuck you, Revolt. We know what that's going to be. Nothing in this email is relevant to the question that I asked. I didn't order a locket or a jacket. I wasn't asking when my order would be shipped. I emailed you asking where the fuck the other hat I ordered was.
Order would just be wrong. Like when
my Tubbo pins just arrived and there's only a box and no pins. Upside down smiley face. I don't know what to do. Can someone help, please? Tubbo worldwide, and they just sent him an empty box. See, this is why loot boxes are bad, guys.
Out a pin collection, but forgot the pins.
Yeah.
Now, because of this, an
you
insider
know, it
at Revolt
happens.
told me that in December of 21, they had over 100,000 customer support tickets open for quality issues and items not being shipped.
You think about how long that would take, right? If each customer support ticket took 15 minutes, what is that? Like, so you divide this by 4, 25,000 hours? That's like that's like 3 years of time to solve all of these problems. Oh my God. Doesn't take long to delete 100,000 tickets. What do you mean 3 years? You just click all, select all, and delete. What do you mean?
That gets us to the good part.
Oh God.
In a world where
and by the way, this is where the weakness is, and this is where the money gets lost whenever you're doing a business like this. It's in logistics, and it's in like customer service and you know, people returning things. That's where you lose the money. That's where like a lot of businesses like this have a really big weakness growing at scale.
And physics is just a suggestion. Comes a movie that punches logic in the face.
What's the movie?
Are you ready for best pizza of life? Bring friends down to Pepperoni Hug Spot.
Is this
Our chefs make pizza with heart and special touch.
Tired of watching low-effort content? Then come on down to patreon.com/coffee.
I was really hoping that it was going to be an ad for pizza.
If If you support high-effort investigations, you also get all these perks. But wait, there's more. Imagine your name up in lights. It's a $50,000 value, and it also helps us make things, which is good too.
Terms and conditions apply. Please read fine print for more details.
Oh.
Okay, where were we? Can I get another drink, actually?
You guys watched this before and you tried clicking the skip ad button? You all fucking serious? God damn, boys. Ain't that something?
Yeah, I'll pour you another one.
Thanks. Remember that insider document I showed you earlier?
Yeah, made me want to sell merch.
What I didn't tell you is that it was all part of a pitch deck for Mr. Beast.
See,
Ryan Piacente had met Jimmy, and he wanted to convince him to work with Revolt. So he creates this pitch deck. You've seen the other creator sales numbers.
Sure.
But there were also ideas for Mr. Beast in there, like NFT.
This is how you know it's from 2021. Claim your free NFT.
You could redeem for merch. And there were also some financial projections. On their first
total profit, $4 million for first drop, profit estimates, total revenue, production costs, fees. And see, like, this is the problem, right? Is that, like, they're not, like, it's just production. Like, you never in here do you see any quality control. Like, this just goes into the Revolt profit. Like, the production cost should be part of the, paying people for figuring out the problems. Over estimates? No, I think this is a fair estimate. I totally think this is a fair estimate.
Drop together, Revolt claimed Mr. Beast would make $4 million.
Across
3 years, $50 million in annual profit.
There's no way.
That's what I thought. I thought maybe that...
Well, I think that, like, again, I think that what he was doing is he was basically, because in 2021, like, you remember those Minecrafters that had, like, these, like, super rabid fans that would just like and watch them on everything and anything that they would do? Like, you guys all remember that, right? Yeah, I was one of them. Okay, yeah, exactly. So I think what he probably did is he based the numbers off of those people, and then he extrapolated the numbers to Mr. Beast's, like, current social media reach, and that's where he got those numbers from. I actually don't think that those numbers were fundamentally dishonest. I don't think that he at any point, like, tried to scam Mr. Beast, or he was lying to him. I think that's fair.
Team was delusional enough to think it was possible, though? So I asked. According to insiders at the company, they actually met Jimmy and started discussing minimum guarantees and how Revolt would 10x his merch business over the next 2 years. But check this out. This being impossible was openly discussed by the Revolt team.
Right.
Oh, no. They knew?
Yeah. And this is where things go from bad to worse. So Mr. Beast gets this minimum guarantee deal to do his 100 million subscriber collection with Revolt, right? But Revolt doesn't...
Yeah, and this is what they would do. I don't know about Revolt particularly, but, like, I've known about a number of other, like, clothing companies. Like, I've received offers, like, I'm not going to say from who or anything like that, but I've received offers, like 7-figure offers, to do merchandise with certain people. It's very common.
Sell like they claimed they would. It does revenue way below expected, meaning Revolt didn't hit their minimum guarantee.
So what do they do?
This is where things dip into fraud, right? Our insider says, I assume this is when they decided to increase cost of goods, meaning Revolt charged Mr. Beast more for every item of clothing than he was actually paying for at the factory.
What the fuck?
That's a pretty huge accusation. Where's the evidence?
My question exactly. I got sent this.
What exactly am I looking at here?
What I just sent you is the pricing sheet from the Chinese factory, top left. You can see the invoice item says RVLT, meaning Revolt, MRB, Mr. Beast. There's unit order sizes and prices.
And what are these ink marks?
That's where changes were made. See, somebody wrote down next to the factory prices, new prices, higher prices.
Did you talk to Mr. Beast about this?
Well, nobody would talk on the record, but I confirmed that Revolt charged higher prices to their team, like it says in ink. Revolt charged more per item than they were actually paying the Chinese factories, according to...
So, okay, I see. Yeah, I get it. So, yeah, they added just a little bit, right? They added about $350, yep.
To their own insiders.
That's kind of normal, wholesale versus retail? It depends on how it's communicated. Yeah, it really does. Now, in my opinion, I think that I think it is, if one number is communicated to Mr. Beast, and then, like, so for example, if they told him that's how much money that they were paying, then I think that it would be clearly a scam, because they said one thing and then it's something else. Upcharging on it as a reseller or a retailer, like basically like as a retailer fee, I think that's kind of okay. But like, I would assume that if you're working with Mr. Beast and you're talking about making $50 million in 3 years, they probably had an extremely deep conversation that went as far as manufacturing. So it seems unlikely to me that they had no idea where these shirts were coming from, and they didn't know what the prices were. It's double dipping. It is double dipping. But like, I don't think that alone, assuming they didn't do that, I don't think that's necessarily, that's not like really bad. It's kind of like a little bit scummy, right? But it's not really bad. And a lot of other retailers do things that are similar to this. Can you really change the price on the factory itself when on store already? I don't know.
Who else did this happen
It's not uncommon. No, it's not.
That's the thing. We don't know. I asked around, and the closest I got was an answer from a former employee. This person claims right as I was exiting the business, he started talking. Answer from a former employee.
Ryan increasing cost of goods to creators to reduce results revenues. Okay.
This person claims right as I was exiting the business, he started talking about that. The production manager.
So like, am I understanding this? I'm not sure if I'm completely understanding this right. So like, basically, like, he makes $10. Mr. Beast sells it for $20. But what he's saying is he's increasing it from $10 to $13, right? And so now Mr. Beast only makes $7. Like, I just want to make sure that I'm fully aware and understanding this. Okay, yes, I am. All right, good.
Said she could get the factories to write whatever she wanted on invoices. So it's definitely possible this happened more. It's hard to say. What I do know is when the money ran out, it all fell apart.
What do you mean?
Well, the merch business has a lot of middlemen. People who create the shirts, warehouses, store it, fulfillment centers. The thing is, Ryan was running out of money for all of it. What is
I found a Swagger Souls hoodie. Wait, what's this?
Create the shirts, warehouses, store it, fulfillment centers. The thing is, Ryan was running out of money for all of it.
For $9.
What is this? Misfits merch company going under. Earlier this year, the Salvation Army Arc Memphis received a donation of 100 plus.
Everything coming out now about the Misfits quietly shutting down. It makes sense. They were selling and donating. Okay. So I don't think this is a lot. Like, I'm not seeing this as a... so the reason why they do this, by the way, is they do this in order to write these off their taxes. They write off the value of these clothes on their taxes, and then in the process of that, obviously, they're able to save a bunch of money on taxes. And also, like, you're talking about 100 plus clothing items. This is 100. This is not much. This is not that much, right? I mean, like, what are we talking about here? Like, they were selling 40,000 units. Like, you're donating 100 units. I'm not convinced yet. I'm not convinced yet.
Clothing items from Revolt Factory, the merch company. This ranges from Corpse Husband hoodies to Swagger Soul hoodies and other scuffed merch.
That hoodie actually looks really nice.
Everything coming out about the Misfits quietly shutting down.
Should have gone to Salvation Army.
They were selling and donating old stock.
Yeah.
They donated it?
Basically. From what I heard, the storage fees weren't paid on time to the fulfillment center, so they donated people's clothing to get rid of it. So not only are people...
Wait, so they didn't donate unsold stock. They're donating the stock that people bought? Oh, no! Oh, God, I didn't expect that. Holy shit!
Not getting their merch on time. Some of it is literally randomly sitting on eBay because Revolt didn't pay their bills on time.
According to a
I
former
assume
revolt
you
client.
reached out to Ryan Piacente about all this, though, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, multiple times. And we might have talked, but he ghosted me when the next wave of accusations came.
Well, why didn't they?
Then I
Why
think
didn't they
it's time to
ship?
go public about this. Wait, did you say there's more accusations?
Uh-oh. One day
I mean,
oh boy.
The thing with money is I like to be able to provide that experience to everybody.
Sure.
So a lot of the money that I spend is actually on other people for the most part because I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's have fun.
You're a psychopath. Actually, or maybe a sociopath, whatever the difference
Already
is.
making it on Ryan P. I'm feeling real, so it needs to be said.
Operational
You have that is a character you have though.
He's a predator. Wait, what? And said he's a predator. What the fuck?
Welcome back to the $10 million studio.
What?
I was investigating what I thought was a case of financial fraud, but what happened next made it also a case of YouTube's own version of Harvey Weinstein. And I don't mean to say that to exaggerate the severity of the accusations you're about to hear. I do say it to convey the seriousness, similarities, and signal that the following is disturbing. Now, if that sounds a little too graphic, I understand if you need to click off the video. We normally don't cover these types of allegations. However, I felt that given we found this halfway through the investigation, we couldn't ignore it. See, it all started last year when there was a serious allegation about Ryan Piacente being a predator. It was made by an insider at The Misfits, the YouTubers that Ryan managed, and this guy went by Peckett. These allegations range from being coerced into inappropriate
Made to partake in sexual acts which I would only ever agree to after being coerced.
acts, witnessing Ryan perv on
I've witnessed him perv our employee in the
shower.
What? In the shower?
Shower, break into clients' phones to search for private photos, take advantage of men who he has given way too much alcohol and drugs, and a lot more. Now, when this accusation first came out, and at the start of me investigating, there wasn't much
I mean, somebody said that, but like, where's the, all right, where's the evidence, right? I mean,
way of
okay.
proof. The only thing verifiable was that Ryan encouraged others to get trashed, which we know because
There's a lot of people that do that. That's not enough.
Talked about it.
So funny compared to like now when that's just the norm. Like people get up all the time.
Yeah.
No, he's just the one encouraging everyone else to.
Yeah.
Now, besides this piece of evidence, there wasn't much else
Okay.
in the way of corroborating evidence until October, when two
Sure.
more stories came out that
look. No, I don't think that guys. I'm not the kind of person that's like you can look at a person like for a second and then you realize like I don't think that's enough. Look at the look on his face. I don't think that's enough for me. That's confirmation bias. Yeah, exactly. Body language. Just no.
had very similar stories to the original, and I knew we had to take them very seriously. In one story, a guy
Wasn't you who did that in jury duty? No, because I said I could look at and tell you if they were guilty, not based on the look at their face, but just by looking at them in general. Like you just look at them and they guilty. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's what I said. That's what I told because I didn't want to have to do jury duty.
between 18 and 19,
Yeah.
was told by Ryan, quote, he saw potential in me before being assaulted in the shower. The other guy
what?
saw potential in me
Didn't
before
what?
being assaulted in the shower. The other guy was in their early 20s and tells a story of how he was invited to a party with the Misfits, a YouTuber group
Okay.
he liked. But in order to get in the house, he was forced to inhale a substance as a condition of entry.
What
Later,
the fuck?
extremely intoxicated, he was also assaulted by Ryan Piacente in the shower. Now, let me remind you that these all are allegations.
Uh-huh.
But let me also tell you that 4 other people have come forward who know Ryan and corroborated his character.
Jesus
One
Christ.
person says, one day I'll tell my Ryan P story, but for now I'll just say this. This rabbit hole goes deep. This person has been abusing his power and money for years. The trail of victims that follow this man is staggering. Another says, I've known Ryan since we were 16. He was always a weird, pervy dude from the start. Billy says, Ryan P has been a disgusting individual for years. Personally, I've seen him do very questionable things. Yet another says Ryan P. is a master manipulator. I myself was manipulated by him for far too long. But that's not all. That's just what's...
I mean, like, it's just, there's a lot of people, man. It's like, you know, like, you get into a situation where it's like, you know, the Bill Cosby situation where it's like, yeah, maybe you might not believe, like, the first two people, but what about, like, number 43? You know what I mean? Like, it's just... I don't know, man. It's hearsay. Yeah, no, it is hearsay, but it's just like, yeah, it is still hearsay. I don't know.
Public. Behind the scenes, I began to receive much more. One guy told me Ryan offered to fly him out and give him $5,000 to cover work.
Right.
He showed me receipts of this payment from Ryan. He then told me I end up going and it's all good for the first few hours, but when I went to the bathroom, he followed me and without going into detail, assaulted me when I clearly was extremely uncomfortable. Now, this story specifically has a thread we're going to follow because there's numerous allegations Ryan would use money to coerce people into situations they wouldn't otherwise do, like paying this guy $5,000 to come over for work. Or more commonly, he'd pay creators who were struggling for explicit photos of themselves. People sent me emails they'd get notifying them of Twitter DMs from Ryan asking for explicit photos, along with accompanying payments from Ryan. The reason I'm telling you about all this is not only that it demonstrates this behavior was happening and provides a financial paper trail, but some of it dovetails into fraud. Because as I started asking for some of these financial documents, I found...
Turned into him asking for nudes and showing Snapchat to give them.
That Ryan would often not just pay people from personal accounts. He would use business accounts to pay for these things, specifically the Misfits business account. Remember, that's the beloved YouTuber group people supported through Patreon, merch, through a podcast. Turns out their company accounts were being used in part to pay for explicit photos of some of the fans of the show.
See, like, that one's over the line. Like, all of the other money that he had spent, I'm like, I feel like you can defend that. But, like, this one, yeah, this is way, way over the line. Holy shit.
I was shown these payments.
Paying
and the
an employee,
is,
it's big.
Why even do this? To write it off your taxes? No matter the reason, this is like some weird form of fraud. It's not the kind that I normally like to talk about. But who uses their business account for this? We also need to talk about what happened in April of 2016 as well, when Ryan asked a fan, can we get married? When she told him she was 16, he said, come back in 2 years, which would be when she was 18.
Naturally.
But 1 year later, Ryan reached back out, saying this, quote, I retweeted your selfie. Do I get nudes? She replies, that's illegal. He says, quote, don't worry, I ain't no snitch.
Okay, so up until now, I was like, you know, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, you know, we don't know. I mean, it's hearsay, everything like that. This seems to be problematic. Yeah, now it couldn't wait another year. Like, you could, what is this?
Now, I asked the person who gave me these if she thought he was joking at the time. She responded, no, I think it was legit because it happened a lot on Snapchat. And he fully, tried to give me money to do it. Now, this once again corroborates the...
This is the thing, too, because, you know, there's, a situation where, let's say some guy gets called out for something, and then you have a bunch of girls that come out and they start accusing him of shit after the fact, after it already comes out that this person is a weirdo. And all of those stories are all informed by the first story because everybody there knows the first story. So there's more of a possibility that maybe some of them could be lying. But this all happened privately. And it is very odd that all of these little details and these different things all seem to line up without any prior corroboration. You see what I'm saying? Very, very interesting.
Creepy behavior we've seen from Ryan Piacente in the past. So for those of you who have been counting, we now have 5 independent accusations. Some anonymous, some fully on the record. We have multiple forms of evidence. First-hand accounts, DMs, payment processing receipts, and we have 4 independent character testimonies from people who claim to know Ryan. Now, as always, I tried to reach out to Ryan to get his side of the story 7 times over 2 months and have gotten nothing in the way of an explanation.
Right.
The last I heard, he was spotted at an airport, and we have no idea of his whereabouts since.
Hey, bro, he's going somewhere else, man. Yeah, he's getting the fuck out of here.
Now, this investigation has been exhausting, honestly, both emotionally and just to carry all the details in my heads of all the accusations, the whistleblowers. So I imagine for you it's been kind of confusing as well. So I want to summarize this piece so we don't miss anything. There's really 2 sides to the story. We have Revolt the company and Misfits, a YouTuber group. In one, Ryan is
it's like, yeah, I don't know like whether something like this is true, and I wouldn't say that like those accusations are like 100% true, because like you never really know. But like, man, I'm feeling like it's a high 90% though. Like I'm feeling like it's a really high 90%, because like, you know, like think about how many of the things happened in the shower. There was like 4 or 5 different people that said something happened in the shower with no prior corroboration. That's really like, I think that whenever you listen to stories like this, what's extremely telling is small details aligning.
Accused of running a Ponzi type merch company where he spent too much money and needed bigger and bigger merch drops to pay off debts and minimum guarantees.
Naturally.
When that didn't work, he resorted to faking invoices to creators like MrBeast to increase cost of goods, while being so bad at logistics that even when creators got paid, their fans received their merch late, the wrong merch, or no merch at all.
Oh,
and
surprise.
Occasionally, creators' merch would just get donated to charity, so that's fun too. And that's just part 1. Then you have the Misfits, where Ryan used his proximity.
Again, I think that the money that's donated to charity is actually the least, well, that's not true, because I just remember the fact that they're donating people's clothes that they actually bought. Because like if they had donated clothes that they just didn't sell, I would be totally okay with that. That's very common for companies to give away extra stock and write it off their taxes.
Fame and money to abuse a series of guys and girls.
I know everybody likes to, like, you guys really like to do this. I think this is like a very unhealthy thing to do. Like, this guy doesn't look like some crazy, like, rapist, creep, awful person. He just looks like an average guy. And it's always very easy to identify somebody after the fact and say, hey, well, I know this person is awful, and, you know, now that I look at him, it's like, look at those eyes, look at his face, look at all this stuff. You had no idea about any of this. Like, I know I joke around with stuff like this. Oh, like, you could just tell by looking at him, but you really can't. Like, and this is one of the things that, like, you guys need to realize is that creepy, weird people like this exist, and they blend in with the environment. They're not this, like, it's not like there's a red sign that says, I'm a creep, or I'm a scammer, or anything like that. These are just normal, everyday guys. Like, if this guy walked into a Subway, everybody would be like, oh, there's the guy here for the Subway. If he walked into a magic card shop, it's like, oh, what's up, man? He doesn't seem, there's nothing weird or creepy about this guy at all. Like, and that's the point that I'm making, is that you can't just, like, again, it's always easy to look at somebody after you hear a bunch of accusations and then be like, oh, I knew it. Just look at him. But you don't. You fucking don't. The banality of evil. Yeah, it's not like, yeah, somebody doesn't have like a red neon sign saying I'm evil over them.
Use a series of guys and girls through a pattern of grooming, intoxication, and then assault, usually involving a shower somewhere.
Yeah.
The damage this man has done is hard to calculate because it's not just a financial number on a spreadsheet.
Damage,
People have stopped creating content because of Ryan. Others have had mental health breakdowns, and it's past time we warn people about them so no one else gets hurt.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching and supporting through viewing,
That's fucked up,
subscribing,
man.
checking out the Patreon. I'm so indebted to this community, and I will see you in 2024.
Holy shit, man. What a fucking video. This is amazing. Oh my god. Yeah, I had no idea about any of this shit. Wow. Holy fuck, man. The video editing's top notch. Yeah, this is insane. Let me link you guys the video. Give it a like, man. It's a CoffeeZilla video. He hasn't made one in a while. Extremely well-made video. This is astonishing, man. This is great. Holy fuck. Yeah, I heard about some stuff about this, like kind of a little bit here and there, But like, I didn't really know enough about it to like really have like, I mean, what the fuck, right? I have no idea. I didn't hear anything about the guy being a creep or anything like that. Like, that's all like completely fucking new. And holy shit, man. Why hasn't he gone to the cops? Assuming he hasn't. Because it's not as black and white. Like, the only thing that's like super black and white is him trying to solicit pictures from that girl. Like, that's black and white. Everything else, it's like, I was trembling because like they didn't actively say no, but there was a massive power imbalance and they were clearly uncomfortable. So like they did everything except for say no, and they didn't try to like actively stop him. So I think this is actually like a very complex situation, and it's not as simple as just like, oh my God. Like, most of these court cases that I know are very complex, and it's nothing that's like just. It's not like some guy breaks in randomly and just like violently rapes somebody. Like, that's usually not what happens, because those are the simple, easy cases. But many of them exist on like a really, really complex spectrum like this. And I think that's probably why they didn't go to the police, is because they thought they couldn't get a resolution from it. It was like some sort of power imbalance. They wanted to maintain the relationship for some reason. There's a lot of reasons for that. Yeah, like paying for nudes with the company money. That's you know, that's not a good idea. Yeah, I don't think that's, that's just not a good idea. She said wanting to keep your career. Yeah, exactly. Content creator said to be normal. Well, I'm a weird guy. I'm just not doing this, right? That's the difference. If a guy tries anything like that on me, it turns into Highlander. That can only be one. Kill or be killed. What the fuck is wrong with those employees? Everybody says that until it happens to them. It's the same as like, how many of you guys have ever fantasized about, you know, like there being a shooter at a grocery store and you take down the shooter? Like, everybody fantasizes about doing something like that, but in the moment, you're not the hero that you think you are, right? I mean, not me. Yeah, I think a lot of people do that, or some other type of fantasy or whatever. Yeah, male hero fantasy. It's extremely fucking common. That's why there's a lot of movies that are built off of it, or like getting in a bar fight or something like that. Not me, I would run. Well, I think that there are a lot of people that do fantasize about that. I'm not saying like everybody does, but it's very common. It's extremely common, or some variation of that. And because of that, people trick themselves into thinking that they will actually do this whenever they're in that situation. And it's very easy to say that, oh, I would do this in this situation. Like, for example, there have been really bad, weird things that have happened to me that, like, if I was in the right mindset, I would have approached them totally different. But because it just came as such a shock, I was just like, what the fuck? And I didn't do anything. Like, that's happened to me multiple times in my life. And I think that's what happens for Lanta. Yeah, it's basically, yeah, I just froze. Well, I didn't even really freeze. I was just like kind of processing it. Yeah, like, what the fuck? What's going on? This fight or flight? Yeah. There it is. The stun, yeah, I was stun locked, exactly. So yeah, a lot of this kind of stuff can happen, and it's that's why I think that they didn't go to the police, because like there wasn't explicit, like it was not explicit. It was like implied or coerced. So yeah, you can train keeping calm with meditation, stuff like that, martial arts. Yeah, but like, and then whenever something happens, you either respond to it the right way or not. I don't want to go back and forth about this. All I'm really trying to get at here is that, yeah, I mean, oh my God. Like the scamming and shit is just like, yeah, like people buy stuff and that's it. I can confirm, been at the bar when gunfire started. First instinct is to duck and run. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk about like, you know, who's going to be a hero in a certain situation, right? Like we can get, you know, like caught up in that and talk about it for like hours. But the reality is that like, yeah, selling these clothes to the Salvation Army, I don't even think that necessarily is bad, but it is if people already bought them. You know what I mean? The guy just seems like a real scumbag. I'll go ahead and I'll link the video to you guys. This is amazing. This is what an incredible video. Make sure to give it a like, guys. Like the CoffeeZilla videos have only gotten better over the years. Holy fuck. Do you think CoffeeZilla's presentation is kind of corny? No, I don't think there's a problem with it at all. Like I can see why somebody would think it was corny, for sure. But I thought it was funny and it was clever and it kind of you know, it keeps the story going. It doesn't bother me. You've been watching him for years or so now? Yeah, I have. I've watched him for a long time. It's his thing. Yeah, exactly. XQC was saying that they sold his unapproved merch. Well, I think that's totally fine. I mean, or sorry, sold it. Okay, that is a bad thing. Never mind. Sorry, I didn't read that properly. Yeah, if he didn't approve it, they shouldn't be selling it. I'll be right back.